Hello, and welcome to this HelloID provisioning product release video for August 2020. HelloID provisioning is a 100% born in the cloud, easy to configure and to maintain user provisioning solution. It helps organizations to fully automate the user lifecycle management in the network by connecting the HR or SIS as a source system. Every change in this source is detected and processed into the network. No worries anymore about stale user accounts, accumulation of licenses or access rights, manual user management, or compliancy issues. Please note that in this video, we will only show the new functionality for the August 2020 release. Please go to docs.helloid.com or our YouTube channel for more videos. Let's get started. In this video, we'd like to start with a PowerPoint presentation and then demo the new functionalities for the August 2020 release. In this release, we have 8 new items. The first item is now you have the option to move a user to the correct organizational unit if that user is updated. If that user has a change in the department or job title, HelloID will move it to the corresponding OU. We also made it easier to install a source and target connector by importing and exporting the mapping information. We have 2 new items concerning the rule publishing. You will get more detailed information on what the impact is of the change in the business rule on the user's end entitlement. We also made a change in the correlation. Now we only include the user objects, so contacts and user and computer accounts are not being included anymore in the correlation. Another new item is a more powerful connection to manage the Home Directories with Powershell scripts. You can now set thresholds in the import system. This was already available for the target systems, but now for the import side as well. And lastly, a big change. We now have cloud PowerShell target connectors, and you don't need an agent anymore to make changes in a target system via the PowerShell. Now you can completely use the PowerShell provisioning in the cloud. Okay, let's demo these new functionalities. The first item we'd like to show you is the update on the organizational unit. This is, of course, part of the Active Directory on-premise connector. This is the section, and this is the new Move an Account on Update. You can also use a fixed OU, but that's not really relevant. It's more powerful to use a PowerShell script. And then, for example, if the department is changed, you can use that in the path to update that user. If we go to the user, you can see that the department code is being used in the OU path. So if this user moves from one department to another, he will be moved from this department to the new department OU. Another new item is the mapping import and export functionality. So if we go to this section, the person section, you have the export and import, and here you can export all the mapping information. It's easy to copy and, of course, to import that into another system. This is a lot easier than doing it by hand. Of course, this is for the source site, but it's also available for the target site. Also new, if you make a change to a rule, you will be informed on what the impact of that change will be on how many users and entitlements. So let's make some changes to this rule. We'll remove part of the scope, and then also remove an entitlement and add an extra group. So we made some changes in this rule, and if we click Save and Publish, it automatically lists what the impact of these changes will be. You will have these impacts on the person side, but also on the entitlement side. So we removed and edited an entitlement. We also made a change to the Home Directory side, so this is a new option. Of course, the GUI configuration is still available, but now we have a far more powerful option by using PowerShell scripts. This is PowerShell. Again, you can use the preview mechanism to see what the impact is for the user, and these variables can be set and will be executed by the agent in the target network. These are the variables you can set by using PowerShell any way you like. Also new is that you can set the threshold on the source system. We'll go back to the source side. and this is a new option. It's very comparable to what we already had on the target side, and now it's also available on the source side. You can set it on absolute values or in percentage of the total population. Again, changes will not be made if that threshold is met. So suppose we set this to 10 and 12 changes are going to be made. 0 of these will be effective changes because it will stop since it calculated beforehand that it's going to exceed this number. Last but not least, the target Powershell connector. We have a small demo here. It's this tick box. So this is PowerShell. The code is now being executed on-premise, and if we want to execute it in the cloud, we only have to tick box this option. And now we don't need an agent anymore. It will be completely executed from the PowerShell Cloud HelloID environment. Thank you so much for watching. Please let us know if you have any additional questions. You can post your question in YouTube or send it to isupport@toolsforever.com. Please subscribe to our channel to receive frequent updates about improvements and changes in HelloID. Have a wonderful day.